I will never forget what happened the past few days on that damned stretch of road. But let me start from the beginning. I'd gotten some time off from work at the grocery store and called my friend from Utah. I told him that he and I would go on the road trip we planned for so long. I loaded my 2000 black classic Jeep Wrangler with my ghost hunting kit, sleeping bags, a tent, a cooler with dry ice and sodas, maps, cameras, some wood, headlamps, and I had my Sig Sauer P220 sport pistol with extra clips in the glove compartment. I started driving from North Carolina to Utah around 7:45 in the morning. I reached his parents' house around 10 a.m. a few days later. He threw his backpack in the back seat and got into the passenger seat next to me. He and I usually talked about our favourite anime and manga. It had been a few hours and we made it to the desert, where it was between Utah and Nevada. I had a gas can in the back, so gas was no problem. We spotted a motel/gas station that looked like it was abandoned in the 1960s. Christian wanted me to pull over so he can answer nature's call. I pulled up and shut the engine off. As I got out, I saw that the sun was setting fast. I also had a really creepy feeling about the place. I rummaged through the back of the Jeep and got out the headlamps and cameras. I also had my piece holstered. I wanted to check the place out. Chris came back and I handed him the camera along with the headlamp. "Wanna look in there? I'd like to see what's in there," I told him. He looked kinda spooked and slowly turned to look at the building. "You have got to be kidding me. Why the hell would you want to look in there?" he asked. He never really liked really spooky things. I teased and called him a baby. He smirked and slugged me in the arm, calling me a jerk. We switched on our lights, cameras, and walked into the station/check-in office. It reeked of mildew. The room keys were still hanging from the hooks. 1 point for luck. I walked into the office and looked around. I didn't really find anything too freaky. Just an old dusty photo of the owner with his family, old guest sign-in books, files, and so on. I came back out and took the keys to check each room. As he and I walked out, we heard coyotes barking out in the desert. Room 1. It had the stink of both mildew and rotten meat. We ran to get some masks to cover our noses. I looked through everything in there, found some tattered clothes, dark with old blood, old wallets with IDs, and old Bibles. Pages stuck together with mould. The bathroom was horrible. The former occupants from the 60s were still in the tub. They were also mummified. I snapped a photo of everything in there. Rooms 2 to 5. Nothing really special or scary, as worse as room 1 was. Room 6. Scared the crap out of Chris and I. There was a baby's crib, old, chipped white paint, and splattered in blood. I crept closer to see utter horror. The baby was still there. It had a cordless drill stabbed through the poor thing's chest and out the bottom of the crib. The infant was also mummified. Its parents were found dead under the overturned mattress, with gunshots and stab wounds. Chris ran out to vomit as I snapped photos of the result of some sick fucker's playtime. I got Chris back into the Jeep and sped down the road where we were heading. 20 minutes later, I pulled into a police station and showed the sheriff and officer on duty the camera. The owner had a son who'd usually clean the rooms and help out in the office. Thing is, or was, the son had schizophrenia and Down syndrome. One night, when the dad was either beating or yelling at his son for screwing up at a task, while looking at a young girl who was going back into her room, the boy snapped. He knocked his father out and dragged him to the tool shed, locking him in there and taking his Colt rifle and the power drill, then going into each room. The girl he was looking at got away and managed to get to the police, but when they got there, the troubled boy vanished. They did, however, hear his laughter from the desert facing the motel. People have reported either hearing his laughter around 12:23 to 1:35 at night, or seeing him running up to their cars or alongside them, saying garbled words. The IDs belonged to 2 of the victims. The officers told us to be safe on our trip. Walking out, we saw a grey figure put something on our bags, then dash off back to the desert. Coming up to the jeep, we saw what they were. There were 2 cards. Both were written in a child's hand saying, "Thank you for staying with us, Danny." The cards had fresh and bloody thumbprints. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment below. All feedback, good or otherwise, is always appreciated. If you have any creepy stories of your own, or have any topics that you would like me to cover, feel free to send them in via any of my social media. You can find all links to my social media in the description below. Until next time guys, make sure you lock your doors, stay safe, and I'll see you next video.